Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. What is up? What it does? Happy Friday. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another stream. We out here. We're streaming on a Friday. Streaming on a Friday. Streaming on a Friday. Where's my coffee? Where is it? All right, folks. Let's take a look at some charts. We're going to do a quick little stream here. We're not going to be on too long because I'm going to be out here in these streets making content. Here in a little bit, we got Omar Grant up in the building. What's good? What is good, my friend? All right, so there's a few things that we need to do. Good morning, good morning, good morning. SMK Prabhu, welcome back. My friend, welcome back. Let's see here if our giveaway app worked. I think it did. Don't know if it did actually, but we're going to see. Let's see. Invalid credentials. Maybe it didn't work. All right, I'll have to check that out. Anyways, let's take a look at the charts here. You notice I changed my colors to some green and red. Just mixing it up a little bit. Gonna bring it back. Gonna see how I feel about the green and red here. I had the white and blue because green and red are psychologically triggering, but at the same time, those psychological triggers are good for views, and I am trying to get people to watch my stuff. So, let's go to the weekly. So, really important thing here on the weekly chart, higher time frame analysis. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the A for the adjust button, or it's auto actually. So if you notice the size, Kirthana, welcome back to the best place on the internet. If you look at the size of the green candle relative to the size of other green candles on the weekly, even just eyeballing it, you can see that we're close to tapped out with what we would expect on the weekly. Now, we do want to keep our eye on the VIX. Okay, the VIX was coming down. It's back near this pivot point. So I've had this, I haven't changed any of the lines on my VIX chart in literally months, I feel like, right? We're back to this VIX pivot. It crushed, came up here, retested this low. Okay, this 17 area is a pretty key area on this VIX. You can see that we have a lot of, consolidation down here that we were in for a while. Okay, but very recently the VIX spiked quite heavily. Okay, last week on the 17th, 28, very high VIX. VIX it's came down a little bit, okay? So really what that means, when we look at the weekly candle, we look at the VIX, we need to think what makes sense from a weekly expectation. SK Futures, thank you. Appreciate it. What makes sense on the weekly? Okay, we're pretty close here. If we go to the daily, okay, we do have almost this nice, we almost had a, there isn't this double doji pattern that was there. Let me get rid of the VRVP for just a second. I know it's crazy because I trade the VP, but if you look at price action here, there's this double doji pattern that sometimes plays out. We don't have that, but this price action does look very similar. If we add the VRVP back, you see that we are at the edge of an auction here, okay? I do think that we're going to continue higher just because of the energy that has been up here. The question is, are we going to do that today? I don't know. We'll see, okay? We did gap up, have a nice little bullish action. We retested the gap. We are pushing higher here. If we continue to hold on like the lower time frames, being like the 4 hour, like above the VAH here and stack volume, we will start to creep up higher, and we'll probably have a pretty green Friday. Straight up, we'll start to traverse this auction here, and I think we'll probably go. We won't sweep this high. Okay, we will actually front run this high probably around this level. It's around a 627. That would be my high of the day expectation. Okay, 627 market. Okay, high of day expectation for uptrend. Okay. If we go down, there's a very obvious downside target. Okay, we've got this node here. This entire auction now we're in. Previous day VAL, okay, will be the first thing that we go for. Previous day VAL. We could just chop today. It's Friday. Okay. Do we have any data today? Didn't even look, to be honest. Let's take a look. Nope, no tier 1 data. So see what happens. 10 a.m. 4-hour did close. Okay, we got this high volume doji, very smash candle at the highs. Swept yesterday's high here on NQ. If we take a look at the ES, the old S. Okay, price action's a little bit different. That 10 o'clock candle did not sweep the highs, pushing higher, and is coming for that sweep right about meow. Okay, pushing up a little bit. So we could start to make this move higher. Here on ES, we've got this other shelf here. Probably same thing. We probably won't sweep this high. Okay, we'll probably front run it right around 68.90. That's what my gut tells me. And I'm pretty good at trading. Pretty good at trading. Let's see. Red green bars. Dude, if I held my 67.50 calls that expired today, sold from 12 to 30. Damn. Damn, brother. Yeah, those would have printed, dude. Yeah, I switched up the colors, man. Purely, literally just for YouTube. I switched them up just for YouTube. I was looking at my videos and I was like, what is missing in the catchiness? And I think it's just like, I mean, for real trading, I prefer the blue and white, but I do think that the red and green is a little more eye-catchy for trading content. So we're going to try it out. It's literally just an experiment for views. Not even going to cap with you guys. I changed my charts for views. But, you know, I'm not streaming for no reason. I want to spread the gospel. Got to spread the good news of VPE. Let's take a look at the monthly really quickly. Now that I think about it. Okay, we're arriving at the end of November. Perfect time to take a look at the monthly chart. Okay, we've got just a handful of days. Look at the bottom wick on this thing. So think of it as a story. Okay, think of it as a story. If we go back a month, okay, came up, nice green candle, boom, this one closed. There was two options at the close of last month. We could have gotten immediate continuation, very bullish, so we had green, 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 or we could have did anything else. And what ended up happening, obviously, was, let's get rid of out of replay, is we had this huge bottom wick. Okay, it's still red, though, which is important here. Okay, if we look at some other months, we have green, 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 little baby red, and then it went into a chop zone consolidation. Suffice to say, if this is a red candle, I'm going to expect something like this probably, okay, at a minimum, okay? Let's look at another example. Very simple pattern analysis. Green, 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 red. Then look what happened. Some consolidation. Okay, so if we don't close this month green, I'm going to expect some chop. Also, it's the end of the year, blah, 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 blah. Very simple pattern analysis. Here's another example. Green, 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 red. Starts to go sideways a little bit, right? The slope changes. Okay, very simple pattern recognition. Okay. Don't have to call it a flag. Don't have to call it anything. Just look what has happened and look compared to what is happening. So that's what I'm thinking right now. That is what is in my mind. It's the end of the year. Okay. Just want to see how this closes. Now, from the calendar perspective, yeah, I know, right? From a calendar perspective, it is the last Friday of the month. The monthly is, the monthly candle is closing today. Does it count settlement on Sunday? Technically, settlement's on the 30th. Settlement open. Curious. Let's go back to the 1. All right. We're pushing higher. So ES just made that sweep. Okay, so they've both swept the same day or days now. Okay, so ES just made that sweep right here. And it's moving up. Not sure what's up with my VP here. Get that to reload. Let's add our session. And we still do have most of our volume below. Honestly, guys, just with it being a holiday week and stuff like that, given that we just swept, I would not be surprised if we get a really rangy day. Again, the weekly candle is probably tapped out. I'm not too invested in this particular session. I do think, though, what happened to my chart? What is going on? It's just not loading any of my indicators here. I do think we're going to continue higher, though. Okay, if you forget about the session in general, I'm pretty confident we're going to continue higher. If we're not going to continue higher, today should be our failure day, is what I would say. I would not expect this to fail later. I would expect this to start to fail and put in a top wick on the weekly. Okay, we'll go back to the weekly. Dude, TradingView is exploding. Okay, let's just go to the weekly on ES. I would expect us to get a nice little top wick starting today. Okay. If this isn't going to go back to all-time highs, but I mean, look at it. Look at this weekly chart. We tested lower. We left this auction here. Huge bottom wick, immediate follow on green. If you would have just longed the close of this, it's a big bottom wick here. Okay, we opened up. Yeah, you'd face a little bit of drawdown, but it's just been green on the weekly. So let's see how the weekly closes, and let's see how this monthly closes. Green or red. If we do close green, again, well, I would say if we close red, I do think we'll probably still go for the all-time high, and then we're going to go sideways a little bit. Would be my expectation. This chart is just dead, I think. Yep, it's just dead. We got a dead chart, folks. RIP. Down to 1. Where's everybody watching from today? Where you located? Where you at? We got 16 hombres in the chat today. Where y'all watching from? What do y'all want to know? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? After I get off the stream here, I'm going to spend a couple grand on Black Friday stuff for the studio. Finally slowed down my spending for the business a little bit. Probably got to spend another 40 or 50K. Black Friday giveaway. Oh, you guys just want the stuff. You just want that free loot. Huh. All right, let me see if you haven't already, use this app. Let me link it again. Black Friday in Belgium is so funny. Discounts higher and higher, and Friday is the biggest discount today. Oh, nice. That's sick. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, indeed. I hope y'all had a good time or an okay time or whatever time you needed to have for whatever's going on in your life. Lord knows my life is a little crazy right now. It's a little wild. But we're getting it done. We are getting it done. Yeah, really slow, really grindy. Really grindy charts. I'm probably going to change. I'll post it in the Discord. My stream days, by the way, to probably. I'm either going to do just Wednesday and Friday or Monday and Wednesday. How's the business going? You've been busy. Yeah, been very busy. Check us out on the gram. There's a very funny clip actually right now. So Logan Paul or the Impulsive Show did their podcast here. And there's some clips going viral right now. They were talking to Steve Will Do It, who I had no idea who this guy was, by the way, until this episode came out. Let's see. Dude, I have professional haters, which is crazy. Professional haters. I think there are people out there, they comment, and then they get mad that I don't respond, and it's like they just keep trying. And it's crazy to me because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like from my perspective, you just look crazy. You just look like a crazy person. It's like there's this need for evidence to prove this narrative. And it's just like, bro, like I'm chilling. Like, I don't know what you want from me. If you don't believe me, like that's absolutely okay. It does nothing for me. What was I looking for? I saw this random comment and it sidetracked me. It's hilarious. Steve. Let me find this clip. But yeah, business has been very busy. We've had, I can't find it, but go look into the Impulsive. Go look at Impulsive's latest episode. They shot it here at the studio. That was cool. We had, what are some other famous people who've been here? Got some more NBA players coming back. That's cool. But it's been busy, man. It's been busy. Is a guy legit, by the way? Steve, like he's loaded? I don't know. I posted the Insta clip in Discord. Nice. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's the clip. Yeah. It's so stupid. So stupid. No, Steve's an idiot. Steve's a fucking idiot. I can say that with confidence. I met him in person. There's the clip. Dude drank a fifth of vodka on set, stumbled out of here with his dudes, his boys, his little entourage. The thing that's with the really weird thing with like some influencers or famous people is like one person gets famous and they're like old school friends that like they grew up with and stuff become these weird like yes men like fanboys of them instead of just like being their friends. And it's totally cool to like hire your boys and like have them work for you and stuff like that. Like that's totally cool. Like I, 100% want to work with people that I like, and if I have the opportunity to give my friends jobs, cool. But I would still expect them to just like not worship me and just treat me like I'm still Forrest. You know what I mean? Like they know me. You know, even if they report to me. So you're the Michael Jackson dude he's referring to? Yeah. Which is just weird. He also dropped the N word like 20 times and all that. But that's only because I wasn't in the room. I was off working on something else. So I come back. I come back into the room. I'm like, why is the energy so weird? I come back into the studio, like for the second part of the podcast. I'm like, why is the energy so weird? Because they were just saying crazy stuff. I could tell you guys right now, if I was I was in the room when he was dropping it, like in bombs and stuff like that, 100% would have said something to him. You know, I would have called him on it. I'm like, yo, say that again, bro. Say that again out loud to my face. But it just goes to show what people will do when there's nobody around. We're grinding up just a little bit. I know, right? But that's just, I mean, that's the business, man. I literally don't even care. I would have called him out on it just because people got to be called out on stuff, not because like I care if people say the N word. Like you, I don't really care. Yeah. Outright racism does not bother me. Covert racism, subtle racism, barring people from opportunities and things like that, that matters. If you hate me because of the color of my skin, like you're actually just have brain damage. Like if seeing me or just being racist, like that's a personal problem. That doesn't bother me at all. We're holding above VH a little bit. We do have some serious dojing coming in though. We have a B-shaped VP. I would not be surprised if we come and kiss VAL at any point today, or even previous session VAL. Come and clean all this up. It's just a very weird setup for trading today. If you're in a swing trade, things like that, I wouldn't worry too much about today's session, obviously. But for all of you day traders looking for positioning inside of this session, you need to really look at this candle series right here and this VP, okay, with most of the value being here, and ask yourself, what makes sense to happen? Does this just go untested and we just... I'll tell you what, if that does happen, on Monday, we're going to come back and test this. This has to get cleaned up. In my opinion. Early close, 12 Central today? Yeah. Low volume day. Yo, it's quiet. I need music. I think my social media manager is going to be here soon. Yo, I might run home real quick. What's your ETA? We're pushing up just a little bit. Yo, I'm streaming. Yeah. Is that PT?
No, I'm going after.
Oh, word.
I gotta write the rest of these modules so we can knock them out today.
I'll bet. All right.
3 and 4. 3's done, basically. I gotta write 4.
So we got two more or just one more?
Got 2 more to film, 1 more to write.
Gotcha. All right. My business partner just walked in. Play some Thriller for the people? Nah. Only 6 likes. Yeah, I'll get back on a consistent streaming schedule here shortly. It's been a little crazy. A little crazy. But the numbers will climb with my consistency. But I will need you all to help me grow the stream. What I might do, which I haven't even told Soul yet, but since he's on here, maybe, is we'll set something up and just I'll just let multiple people from Trade Edge stream on my channel. We'll see. It's an idea. It's an idea I've had. What questions do you guys have today? Not much to talk about, honestly. I mean, I could just talk about random trading stuff. As far as the session goes, I think I've said everything that needs to be said for this session. Really good point that Sol brought up during our Q&A, just around the relationships of the VP, how the volume profiles, the session volume profiles close, right? And how you can account for that when we reapproach different trend lines and things like that, right? Are we going to crater? No end of month gamma. Nah, I mean, it's just not worth it. There was some good call action inside of this week, like since Friday. Just playing this slow, honestly, but no intraday gammas. There were some serious, I mean, there were some options with crazy returns, for sure. I think inside of this session, we can look at, let's look at SPX. Let's see. Oh, it's still open already. This was November 24th. See what printed. Let's see what we got here. So 2,900% return. That looks backwards. Show me November 25th. $67.60s. $14,100% on some calls here. Looks like you could have got in. Yeah. There's definitely some good opportunity here. This is a little AI bot I made to do options research, by the way. I think last Thursday, show me the max RI on, what was it, the 20th? What was last Thursday? Yeah. Forcebot AI will tell you the best option trade for the week now. Yeah, it'll tell you the best option trade on any given day. And then eventually I'm going to do it for the entire market. The computations are expensive, though, so I don't know if I'm going to make every command public, but it does do that. I literally pay like $1,000 a month, I think, to run this thing. See if my URL works here. I just put the chart in the chat. Click on that link in the chat, and you can see that should work. This is my dev environment. I can't remember. I've been changing a lot of stuff recently. But suffice to say, Yeah, it will do that. And then eventually, right now it does it for just SPX, but it will work. It does work for the entire market, just not for you guys, but it will eventually. It'll work for the entire market. But my goal basically, then I'm going to do it in real time. I'm actually working on a local server for this where there's some cool stuff I'm working on, guys. But I'm a very, very big thinker. Very, very big thinker. And the goal is to build a very big machine, not a slot machine, but a very big machine that only has to give me answers maybe a few times a year, honestly. I don't need answers every once in a while, but every time it says, hey, Forrest, $1 million bucks. That's the goal. We'll get there. But yeah, check out ForceBot. Sign up. Use it. Is a work in process. It's not perfect. So if you're signing up, just disclaimer. It is wonky, but it is usable. The price is basically for the data. It's very expensive to do these calculations in real time, especially with the more users there are. But yeah, sign up, give me feedback. Holy shit, 1 second. Wow. I'm dying. Breathant. It's the opposite of breathing is breathant. Can't breathe. I also just changed the charting library, you'll notice, from... I was using lightweight charts, which is basically trading views charts. I just switched them over to a different charting library, which is a little more easier to use. At least in this view. But the options charts here, this is the main screen. Let's go to 64. I might need to make it so that you guys can comment links in the chat. I think I turned that off, but I need to enable that. You might not be able to leave links. Post it in the Discord, though. Definitely. Oh, I should add that as a Discord command, huh? I'm going to add max ROI into Discord as a command, and it'll just link to ForceBot. I'll do that soon. I was going to say today, but it's not happening today. Yeah, there's some serious opportunities here. $64.60s. Let's look at $64.50s. 10 cents up to like 5. It's a 50x. Nasty. Is the OI fixed? It is in dev. I don't know if it is in production. I might need to fix the cron job that does that. But yeah, so this is the open interest for today, right? So you can see that most of the OI is, there's no real significant OI here. 29,561 contracts. That's a lot. But these are pretty spread out. If we compare that to the chart, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rebuild this view here because the histogram is fine, but what I really want is I want the OI overlaid on a chart. So I'm gonna build a chart, then I'm gonna overlay the OI like on a chart. I just never got around to doing that. But really, the whole point of this view here is I want to look at my chart. So let's go to SPXW, SPX, sorry. And I want to say, okay, so is there any OI between 6840 and say 6820? Okay, so then I'll go to my little tool here. 68, it's literally not even calculated on the screen. So yeah, I need to fix this. It's too low. I have this locked to not the right level. Yep, some work to do. We're pushing up, looks like a little bit. But I'll fix that. Let me actually make a to-do to do that right now. Update, open interest tab to use last close as starting point for calculation. Cool. 6725 calls on 1125. Let's take a look. 6725 calls on 1125. 6725 calls. Sheesh. Or the went from 2 to 50. 50 divided by 2. That's like a 25x. So the one thing you got to look for is obviously it's an ROI. So the last contract I was looking at was a 50x. This is like a 25x. So if you get it over 2, I mean, it's still a great return, right? The question is, how would you trade this? You see how this is kind of like a more of a gradual, appreciation here versus if I go to the one that I saved, I think it was this one. Right? You get in, and from a trade perspective, one, you're not going to trade this perfectly. But you get in for 10 cents, right? On this initial pop, you're getting like a 20, 30x, fast. This also says, this is supposed to be like 9 a.m. Wow, my time series times are wrong. At least the titles are correct. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. How tradable is it? But that was a nice little move up there. Oh, my deployment failed. Let's see what happened here. Replicate this build error. AI for coding, by the way. What's really cool is I built basically 90% of this before all the AI features came out. And then using AI on top of it is nice because I actually know my code base. Oh, let's fix this build error first. Can I? I have some questions, but I can't be on my phone at work. Join the Discord. So you can ask them whenever you have time. Or you can go to discord.gg/tradeedge, I think is the URL. Yeah, join the Discord. You can join the free chat. We have a 1-week free trial. Ask. You can tag me in your question. There are plenty of other people. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Yo.
Can you open the door, please?
Yeah, give me 2 minutes. I'm coming.
2 minutes.
All right, I'm wrapping up a stream.
Okay.
All right. Is it raining?
All right, bye. No, I just have to pee really bad.
All right, hold your pee. I'm coming. All right, bye. All right, y'all. I got to run. Join the Discord. Ask questions. I appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.